that was nice because people came from all over the world and people of all ages as well.
Mhm.
So that was a humbling experience because I think I was 22 or 23 at the time, and
Yeah.
then I had one person who was turning 18,
Wow.
and this person was from America, and then there was another person from Hungary,
Mm.
and he was turning 40,
Nice.
and there were people who came from a big uh, prior filmmaking experience, working in their respective industries,
Got it.
and someone like me who has had like a taste of it, but obviously easier to like figure it out, like learn and find out what he wants to do.
Mm.
And also people who had like no idea what they were signing up for. Like to be
Mm.
honest, that was happening as well, and everyone kind of flourished uh, in their own direction and in their own liking.
Nice.
I think there's a wedding outside, so it's a bit
No, no,
noisy.
don't worry.
But
I will, all the additional sounds. I've gotten
that's
reasonably good at editing, so I can
nice.
But
Um,
but Manish, like if you had to mention specific courses, because it was like a conservatory in filmmaking, right?
right.
Like, were there any specific courses and professors that really, changed your thinking? Because I'm sure
Yeah.
you didn't have such a specialized study in BMM, right? So, um,
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that's a great question because what specialization is I got to know when I joined this course. There were subjects that were kind of bifurcated into technical and creative.
mm,
So we had like a lot of technical subjects like grip and electric, which is understanding lighting and gear to support lighting and how to support camera systems and rig it to cars and rig it to your hand so that whenever you move your hand, the camera moves with you.
yeah.
And just different forms of lighting and how to shape light, cut light, and all of the little stuff that you need to know about. And we had like camera lectures where we would understand film cameras and celluloid and difference between celluloid and digital. Um, and the things that we are working with today, compatibilities between cameras and lenses.
Mm,
So that was like one part of the training,
mm,
and the other part was creative and more philosophical.
mm,
So we had one subject called history of cinema where we would watch one movie in a group,
mm,
and this movie does not have to be too old either. It can be Blade Runner from the 80s or Blade Runner that was made today. And we would watch this film and we would write about it for half an hour.
wow.
And in the end, everybody would kind of read what they wrote. And the professor would point out like interesting things that everybody observed, and we would discuss it out loud. So that was super interesting because I would find something that you discovered but I didn't notice, and the other way around because everybody's perspective about one thing is different.
For sure.
um, so I feel like that was one of my favorite subjects because that's where I learned to kind of dissect and understand what it is that you like about the thing that you like,
Mm,
which is one of the most beautiful things that you can apply to anything in life.
mm,
If if you make me um, pasta for dinner, we can have a conversation about it. That it's interesting. Like the tomato is like a little more tangy. I feel like you put like less garlic this time than last time. The parmesan is like shaved instead of shredded. So those things kind of add value to life,
mm,
so it was discussing these things that I started developing appreciation for things in general, not just as a filmmaker, but just as a person, as a human being.
mm,
So I would try to apply that to songs when I would listen to songs. And the beautiful thing about dissecting is you kind of realize what you like and what works as well. You
mm,
know, so if you make yourself an omelet the next day, you know how you like your omelets and you know how you like your coffee. So that was one interesting subject, and there was another one called Cinematographer's Craft,
mm,
where this subject was solely focusing on visual storytelling, as my uh, professor would say. And here we would discuss motivations for camera movement.
Mm.
and the purpose of and the reason for a character standing where they are standing in the first
Mm.
place,
Okay.
and the relationship to camera. So when the camera would move, when the camera would stay still, uh, when the camera should be completely static, when the camera should have like a little bit of a breathe,
Mm.
just different eye lines that mean different things. How to make something look personal, how to make something look impersonal,
Mm.
how to make it feel like our character is isolated, or feels out of place.
Mm.
Um, so we would discuss a lot of things that just framing, composition, lighting, placing of performers, uh, just eye lines where they would look at would kind of like make things feel different.
Mm.
Uh, and one interesting thing that my professor would say all the time is that uh, nothing falls off the truck,
Mm.
you know, and it's a lot of times it's not an accident. Most of the times it's not an accident. It
Mm.
was someone's creative choice that the person wore this shade of mint green and sitting in this backdrop, signifying something that it's a combination of all these things
Yeah.
that filmmakers, not just the director, but a cinematographer, a costume designer, and production designer, are feeding you elements,
Yeah.
and it's graded a certain way to make you feel a certain way.
Wow. Okay.
Uh, in with the help of music and sound design, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a very highly fabricated experience and it doesn't just fall off the truck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
That's a.
very interesting to learn these two subjects where you would again find out what it is that you like about the thing that you like. Do you like the warmth in the room? Do you like the contrast between the person and in respect to their surroundings?
Mm.
Uh, do you like it that one person is against the window, so you just see them in a silhouette?
Mm.
But that also kind of says something about um, their um, their part of the story that they are in the dark, so metaphorically you see them in the dark. So it's these little things that we would discuss and jam over. Um, and so that was one part of the training as well. So you had technical subjects, you have more creative and philosophical subjects, and in the middle of it, we had these production workshops
Mm.
where every month we would have one workshop where everyone in the room, which is like 10 people in one batch, are supposed to make a particular movie.
Mm.
And these roles are kind of interchangeable.
Okay.
So let's say for one production workshop, if you're in my class, let's say if I'm the director and I pick you as my cinematographer,
Mm-hmm.
someone else is playing the lighting technician, another person is playing the camera assistant, another
Got it.
person is on the dolly. And in the next production workshop, this whole thing will shuffle.
So you get an idea of each role in that production
Exactly.
experience.
So in if everyone gets to kind of play one role in every department
Mm.
for every production workshop, which was very beautifully designed because you once you are uh, kind of playing the role, you start to understand time, and you also understand you're also empathetic to the
Mm.
work that other people are doing, right? So if, let's say I never worked as a camera assistant
Yeah.
or a focus puller or a dolly operator or a lighting technician, and I just like kind of order my crew around that, hey, I have 5 minutes, I want it ready. Whereas I should be the one who's knowing that okay, something to rig, something like this to rig is gonna take 15, something
Mm.
to safety is gonna take 10, you know, and like it's a challenging shot, so this person is gonna lose focus in 15 takes. That's I need to do something to kind of help them out to get it right. You know, like I
Got
need
it.
to make it. So that was amazing because we kind of got to play different roles in these workshops,
Mm.
but also we had to do 5 projects each as a director and cinematographer.
Got it.
So we could still choose to have another person be the director,
Mm-hmm.
but you since it's a cinematography program, you are the cinematographer for your project, and I will have crew, which is my teammates, my classmates,
Mm-hmm.
and I will work on 5 of their films as well, working
Oh,
in
okay.
department.
Okay.
So basically, it keeps you really busy for the whole year. Like there is really no time to like do anything else.